Okay, this is From the Ray Cave, episode of Ray McGuff, filmed with JT Farva. He came over tonight to do a little drinking, and we're working on our comedy for the big show, September 26th at Sloopy's Galloway. Check the Facebook for details on that if you're not already privy to it. I'm sure I post it every day, so why the fuck wouldn't you know about it? Anywho, so we thought we'd do a little quick From the Ray Cave, just bullshit for a few minutes. I went to the comic book store earlier today.
I noticed. I saw the books. I saw them. They look fantastic.
Yeah, wanted to first talk about this, the Star Wars. The Star Wars. What this is, Jeff, if you're not familiar, folks, Jeff, it's a retelling, or not retelling. George Lucas had an original script outline that was scrapped, and he rewrote it all, and that's what became, the rewrite became what we know today as Star Wars. The Star Wars was his original idea, so some graphic novel guys, once they sold it off, wanted to do it, so Disney gave them the go-ahead, and that's what this is, the first in the trilogy of original scripts. And let me tell you, it is a fucking crazy, like, fever dream, like, from what you know of Star Wars.
So is it like Avon Flux back in the 90s?
Yeah, it's
where you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you still, there's the outline of the story, but you're confused because you're like, man, I know characters from Star Wars my whole life, and these are different. Like, I'll give you an example. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is Luke Skywalker.
He's like 140.
He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi's age,
right, from
the first movie. This is Han Solo. This green guy right here, that's Han Solo. Don't know why he's green, but he is. He's still kind of the normal Han Solo. He's got jokes, he's telling some things.
Was he hanging out with Chewbacca?
No, that's the other fucked up part. Chewbacca you don't even meet till the last part of the story, and he's like a fucking ridiculous, like, dummy. Like, he's a full-on animal. They can't even fucking understand him until Han Solo shows up and conveniently can translate for him. So
he speaks gibberish.
Right. Oh, yeah, it is gibberish. And then, like, just to give you another little overview, this is Princess Leia, and she pretty much is is Princess Leia. Like, they didn't really change her much except for her story. She's not related to Luke in the story, nor is she related to this fella. Who's this fella? Anakin Starkiller.
Anakin Starkiller.
So
is that a real thing?
That's a real thing, and he looks like he kind of looks like fucking like that guy from like the first Die Hard movie, that blonde dude that tries to shoot McClane at the end, and
the bad guy.
Yeah, he kind of looks like that guy, only about 100 pounds lighter. It's really weird.
So he's no Hans Gruber.
No, he's no Hans Gruber. And then you got R2-D2 and C-3PO, and they look like 50s incarnations of their things. So somebody asked me earlier today what I thought of it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It's not good. It's not a good.
Why did you give 3 out of 5 stars?
Because it's for true fans of the original trilogy. This is neat to have. This is George Lucas. It's like if somebody peered into something I wrote that the very first draft of. It's pretty neat. You can see a lot of where the ideas. Darth Vader in this isn't a Sith. He's a just a real horrible prick that's in charge of the Galactic Empire for the Emperor, who doesn't look like the Emperor either. He just looks like a regular fucking politician. And then the guy that shows up later that's a Sith has half the mask on, and you think, oh, this motherfucker's going to have an epic battle at the end. No epic battle at all. It was really let down.
They talk politics?
Kind of. Yeah, the ending is really weird, the way they changed it up. It was like the Jedis and the Sith, they realize that the Empire is bad together, but they hate each other, but they're still like, the Empire is worse. So it was a really weird, like...
And that's part 1 of what?
I guess they're going to do 2 more, from what I understand. And I don't know for sure, but that's what it kind of leads me to.
If they're not on Hoth, I don't want to fucking talk about it.
They're not on Hoth on this one at all.
There's no AT-ATs in that motherfucker. I'm done.
And Tatooine is not Tatooine in this. It's the same planet. It's all desert and bullshit, but it's called some weird name like Elixir or something. It's really
called Egypt.
Doesn't even flow off the tongue, even in the slightest bit. But again, if you're a diehard original trilogy fan like I am, this was fun to read. It was worth the $20 to have it in my collection.
I'm gonna say this. I'm a die-hard John McClane fan. Right? Bruce Willis is John McClane in every movie. You can put him in a love movie. He's just John McClane.
Right.
And a love role. He's a yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, you know what I mean?
Right.
But Die Hard 2 is an awful piece of crap.
It is.
And if I was watching him and I would be like, oh, let's give some 5 stars, I would give the first Die Hard 5 out of 5 stars. Number 2, I give 2 out of 2 stars, even if I'm a fan of John McClane. Number 3, pick back up, went back up to 4 stars. Number 4, still, keep it at 3. Yeah, 3. And then it kind of fell off the rails again, but I still love John McClane.
This newest Die Hard movie is worse than the second one, in my opinion.
Oh, no, without a doubt. That Live for Your Die Hard was great.
Yeah, I liked Live for Your Die Hard, but the one where they're in Russia...
Oh, it was awful. And that guy they're trying to push down your throat. I hate when they get an action hero and they push him down your throat, like Sam Washington, whatever he is, the guy. They just pump him down your throat like he was an avatar, like him.
Yeah.
Like him.
He's going to be really awesome in this Transforminators movie. And then he's not. He's just like a fucking dummy through the whole movie.
Right.
But, I have a friend, real quick, side note on that. When he watches the Die Hard movies, he takes out Die Hard 2 and doesn't watch it. He replaces it with The Last Boy Scout.
You fucking need that movie. That movie, that's just John McClane with a black sidekick.
Exactly. He's like, it's like a perfect version. It's like, oh, he went back and did some shit in his hometown for a little while, and then in this third one, he's back in New York.
Yeah, we just call him a different name.
Yeah.
And when they do that, I mute it. When he says his name, I'm like, John McClane. I just replay it. So
he's just undercover. That's what happened.
Right. He's just easily doing his own thing.
But I thought that was kind of fun.
That's a good analogy. Yeah. There's a lot of movies they fall off the rails on, but I do love John McClane.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've seen all the Die Hard movies. I own all of them, even though I don't like all of them. But John McClane is an amazing character. And I don't know, I read that the new one that they're going to do has a writer that was a fan of the very first one, and he wants to make it the last in that series.
Hans Gruber's back as a robot?
No, it's him in Tokyo for the Nagasaki, or whatever they're called, the tower, right? The people that own the tower, the son of that guy wants to give John McClane a medal and an award for saving the company, basically, because now it's like a huge thing. And then he gets like involved with the Yakuza. This is what I read, and it's going to be like the last cowboy kind of story where he's like taking out motherfuckers left and right. I think that could be cool. Think about it, because it's going to be all in a tower again. One more tower, one more time.
Yeah,
you can't recreate the magic, but you can make it almost as good.
If you bring Hans Gruber back, little Alan Rickman,
I would love that. But there's no way he didn't survive his fall into Carl Winslow's car. Oh no, that was the other.
It's his twin brother, Don's Gruber.
Well, they already had the brother from.
But it's his twin brother. There could be other brothers. It's movie magic.
I don't like that.
Cyborg.
I don't like that. Honestly, I don't want it to get too crazy. But that being said, I watch a Die Hard movie any day of the week. I don't care how many come out.
One of the best Christmas movies of all time.
It really is. Every year I watch it at Christmas.
That and Gremlins.
Yeah. Now, on to the next one.
You know I'm a big fan of this.
Yeah. Batman. DC has revamped their Batman series, and they're now doing, it's called the New 52, and it's like, all the original Justice League characters are now getting their own stories retold in, like, I don't know if you would call it an alternate dimension, but alternate timelines or something like that. I mean, I only just started it, so I only got a little bit, but basically in this one, Batman's a lot darker than he was in the other ones, which is cool.
The 52 series is good. The 52s are good.
This is the first volume in that series. It's called The Court of Owls, which I haven't got to that yet. But.
It's really strange. I like the New 52s, although they made Green Lantern gay.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, in the New 52s, he came back.
He's always been kind of gay.
Well, Aquaman, out of all the gays.
Aquaman I could kind of see as being a little bi, maybe. Maybe he gets on land and goes out to a nightclub and then goes back home to his wife in the undersea village.
Like, I'm just out here doing some non-fish things.
Yeah, I'm just,
longshoreman.
Yeah, no. But I've always thought Green Lantern straight up would be like, hey guys, how's it going? I'm a fighter pilot here. Woo, rub my nipples.
Right.
And that's not all gay people. That was such a generalization. I apologize. I'm just saying. I always thought Green Lantern was kind of a little gay. Not a homophobe at all. The gay community loves me, and I love them back in a straight way.
I like how you clarify it. I like how you clarify.
I'll give them a hug, but it'll be ass out.
Right?
No, I'm just kidding. I'll hug you. I'll rub my dick all over you guys. I don't care. But anyways,
not gay if you're on top of here. It's prison rules when you're on top.
Yeah, it's prison rules. I don't know. Anyways, let's do it. This is 12 fast. Went off track. Batman New 52 story, Court of the Night Owls, or Court of the Owls, rather. great story so far. I've read the first 5 pages, so I can tell you, so far, stellar work.
But doesn't like Bruce Wayne though.
But yeah, I mean, I want to go on record saying I've enjoyed all the Marvel movies, and I like Marvel characters. They're interesting. Thor was one of my favorite mythical stories growing up, so I really gravitated towards that. When
I do like Thor.
I really think Captain America is something special. Those movies are amazing, but I've always liked DC characters a little bit better. And it's not anything towards Marvel. It's that they speak to me, like Batman. When the first time I ever was exposed to Batman was 1989's Tim Burton Batman film, and then I got into comics from there, and just over the 80s and 90s, Batman has been a character anybody can identify with. You've got a vigilante who wants to do good, based on a horrible incident in their lives. Who doesn't want that to happen? That sounds like something you would want to be involved in. So. But I just love that every couple of years, some new writer gets a hold of Batman story and tells it even a little bit better than the original people.
Yeah, but it's a rich lexicon of, you can dig right into that story though. Right. You could do whatever you want. You can make him dark. You can make him a bad guy. I mean, he's pretty close to being a bad guy.
Oh, he's right on the verge, man. Right on the verge, and that's why I dig it so much. Because at any moment he could cross that line and be done, like he did in a couple of story arcs, The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Right at that line, he was almost. I mean, the Joker's still evil, but he had to do a bad thing to stop the Joker one final time.
Absolutely, man, and I truly dig that. Now that we're going on this, total geek rampage here of talking conversation, that's the actual. With Superman, you get all good. He's truth and justice. No matter what, he doesn't make a thing, and then they make this great movie last time, which was the best Superman movie I think I've ever seen in my life.
Hands down the best. I'll argue with anybody all day.
I loved the fact that it was from a planet. They showed you the planet. The backstory was so much better. The actors were great in the movie. What's his face? The bad guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
The guy that played Zod.
Zod. Fucking great actor.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Terrific. See Boardwalk Empire, if you don't believe me.
He's a freaking great actor, and he took Zod to this. You really believed it, and I like the fact that there was no kryptonite. It was just his planet. Totally got it. And that's the end of the thing. Superman had to kill to save, and they never have done anything like that. You can watch any Superman from past to past. They've never allowed Superman to kill anybody. And I thought that was such a dig on what Superman really stands for. It's supposed to be the good in everybody.
Well, to me, I took it as this, and I could be wrong, but everybody says, well, Superman doesn't kill anybody, but he had to have a starting point where that was a thing. So maybe in some lexicons he just always was like, I'll never kill anybody. But in this one, I think from here on out, you'll see that stance. He's never going to kill again after this. I don't think they're going to do it again. I think that was a defining moment. I had to kill him, and that's why he fell down. He was screaming. And I think from there on out, that's going to be his thing. Is from here on out, I don't kill. That's my one rule.
Okay, I can see that. The only thing I didn't like was the ending where he's like talking to the guy, because if you're going to do a story arc of somebody, at the end of it, you should probably do the story arc where he just disappears, because I think that's where you're going to have to end up the next story, because Superman just killed somebody. He's probably going to be dark. Yeah. Sorry going into depth on this, because I feel like such a dork when I do this, but to change the subject. But I think the storytelling is a lot better. I think the storytelling gets a little better every year, but from Tim Burton's Batman to the Dark Knight series.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Two completely different visions of one character. That's what I'm saying. That's why Batman is so different, I think, anyways. It's because you're right. Superman's kind of pigeonholed into that Boy Scout scenario, whereas Batman has free reign because of his vigilante status. Superman is a straight-up icon do-gooder, and Batman is a night owl vigilante. He's the Dark Knight, exactly. He's the guy that gets the problem solved, and sometimes things get a little messy, So
exactly, great. Your point exactly, but you could never make Superman a bad guy. You couldn't.
I mean, they have done that. Bizarro Superman.
Yeah. Well, you had somebody to take on that.
Right.
That what I mean. It's like even when they killed Superman in the original comics, there was like all the clone of Superman. It was like it went on for like ever. Like
it was. I remember that time period. I stopped buying.
Shaq.
Oh my God! I stopped buying comics though around that time. After Superman died, it wasn't like it impacted me. Like I said, Superman isn't one of my favorite characters. Like I like him, but Batman always was. But I kind of stopped around that time because that's when things started getting hokey. They were doing like goofy bullshit that didn't matter to the stories anymore, and and to make more money. But that I found out later, and I didn't know this. Had I known this as a kid, I might have continued to buy comics to support them. But they were having a really hard financial time. They had a lot of restrictions from the government and stuff at that time. Yeah, I watched this whole documentary on Netflix about it, and they interviewed all the original guys, Stan Lee all the way down. And they had these set of rules where they couldn't show like people of color kissing white people and stuff, and it was just like, I mean, it was ridiculous shit. And,
America.
Yeah, and like you couldn't show any sex at all, which you're not going to show sex in a comic book for a kid anyways.
The Japanese do it all the time. They show
yeah.
tentacle porn where there's like tentacles inside the girls.
It couldn't even be implied. Like they couldn't even be in the same room together, half naked, or like with her like we see nowadays when a sex scene in a comic book is usually she's got the covers up and the dude's getting out of bed like leaning over like, what did I just do?
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
So, but they couldn't do any of that shit, and so because of all the restrictions, a lot of companies folded, and a lot of characters just got pushed to the side, and they were just doing what sold, and Superman thing was, they even say, was a direct ploy to increase sales. Had I known that at the time, I would have bought more comics.
I like the story arc though. I like the story arc that Superman dies. And I like how they brought him back, that he was never really dead. You know, that the sun healed him.
Right.
Just enough sun on him to
And I forget, did they ever explain why his spirit took on 4 different people?
It never was. One was a clone by Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay.
One was a clone by Lex Luthor. Another was just John Henry, which the steel guy, you know, John, the guy that built like the railroads and shit. His name was John Henry, and he built steel. Another one was a fake, like it was like manipulate like atoms or something.
Yeah, it was something weird.
Yeah, it was something weird. And then the 4th one was Superboy, which ended up staying Superboy. He was actually not Clark. He was like, it's something to do with like Brainiac or something. I don't know. But yeah, I like the story arc, but then it got way crazy when they're like, "Oh, you got steel," which is it's just Shaq and armor and a giant hammer.
But I think that's why I have total faith, though, after this last Man of Steel. I think this Batman versus Superman movie is going to be one of the most amazing things I've ever witnessed.
I'm going to hold reservation on it.
I just have everything I've read that's leaked, and it could all be bullshit, I guess, but everything I've read that's leaked has piqued my interest. Like, this little tidbit, I don't know if you read this or not, was that LexCorp has the frozen body of Zod, and they've been studying it since the incident. And so that might give you a little insight into what Lex Luthor's plans are, or how
I saw the picture. I saw the picture they released with Superman like jumping up and Batman with kryptonite in his hand coming down.
Oh, that was from the actual Frank Miller's.
Oh, yeah, it is actually.
Story. But they might do that. See, that's what I'm thinking. Is maybe what if kryptonite comes into play as a developed thing, like Lex Luthor develops it,
which could happen.
And then so he's recruiting Batman and the other superheroes that are now revealing themselves, and because we know that for sure that Aquaman's confirmed and Wonder Woman's confirmed.
Isn't it that guy from Lost?
No, it's
a Jason Momoa.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
And Conan.
Oh, Conan, and he's also in a really amazing TV show I want to plug real quick called The Red Road. If you have not seen The Red Road, probably a lot of people haven't, find it. It's on the internet. It's amazing. But yeah, so he's playing. But I think that's maybe where the story will be, is like, hey, I figured out how we can stop this alien that destroyed our planet, basically, or almost killed everyone. And I just think there's so many amazing possibilities and you got Zack Snyder. Look, Zack Snyder did one movie I didn't like called Sucker Punch, and I didn't like it because I didn't think the story was very well written. Not the visuals. The visuals, I would buy that movie on Blu-ray tomorrow for $5. Visuals,
it's an awful movie.
It's not fun to watch, but the visuals are cool.
Cloverfield.
I like Cloverfield.
Awful. Just awful. I'd like to watch the Blair Witch Project with maybe Godzilla. We don't know what's really happening in the background.
Yeah, well, whatever.
We're gonna film a movie. It's gonna be called The Tip of My Penis. That's all we're gonna do for 45 minutes. Just the tip of my penis. We're gonna play music, and I'm just gonna jiggle the camera.
I'm gonna put it on like strings, like a puppet.
I like dental floss because I like the green. I think it highlights the tip of my penis. I don't know.
But it's gonna, so I think that movie has a shot of being like truly amazing.
I do. I like the guy who plays Superman, Harvey or Henry.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
He's all right.
I do not, and I will never Like Ben Affleck. He was in a little movie called Jilly or Gigi or whatever the fuck with Jennifer Lopez.
You can't fault him for that.
Yeah, I can. I can fault him for anything he does. He's been in a bunch of asshole movies that were no good. I would watch Justin Timberlake's In Time, which is actually not a bad movie.
It's a very good movie.
It's a very good movie. I really like that. It's actually a very apt movie. Don't want to go into it, but I would sit there and watch that 100 times. But if you make me watch a Ben Affleck movie, I will fucking kill you. Straight up.
So how are you gonna go? Excuse me. You gonna go see this? Batman?
I'm gonna suck it up because I love Superman. You know Batman. You know me and Batman. I have an extensive Batman
collection.
Comic book collection.
Yeah, his comic book collection pales in comparison. Or mine does, pales in tears.
I have old classic Batman comic books. I've loved Batman even before the Tim Burton movie came out. I'm 35 years old, so.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to have some. But,
I'm only 27. I'm a rough 27.
Rough.
Whoa.
We look bad.
Whoa.
In light.
But I'm putting hair on my head again so that I don't look so fat.
Growing hair. For 34 years. No,
but yeah.
I'm excited about the movie, but I hold my reservations. What I wasn't excited about, and what I really liked, was Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, it's going to be a good movie, but I held my reservations. I watched the movie, had everything I wanted. If I was a kid growing up right now, that would be my Star Wars.
Mine too. Well, we talked about this when we saw it. When I left that theater, because I didn't think about it, when the previews leading up to it, I kept saying, a fucking talking raccoon and a fucking guy from Parks and Recreation are going to have jokes that are going to be like, goofy as shit. It's going to be ridiculous. They got that same chick from Avatar, painted her ass up again for this movie.
First of all, Zoe.
Yeah.
What's her name? Zoe Salmon.
Zoe Hot Ass?
Yeah. First of all, she's amazingly hot, dude. She's my Lieutenant Uhura.
She's my Uhura.
She's amazingly hot. The Colombian or whatever she is.
The Colombiana.
Colombiana. Fucking amazing movie. She is fucking smoking hot. So I would watch her do anything, actually.
Well, yeah, but I had my reservations, too, because I thought, man, this is going to be stupid. But when I left that theater, I wanted to immediately see that movie again. It's that much fun. Literally was the most fun I had all summer. Hands down, the most fun I had all summer.
I did. I like, if it was still going on, I'd watch it. I very rarely say that about movies, like The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing. It was... Heath Ledger knocked out of the park. Everybody was great in that movie. The last one, Dark Knight Rises, fucking still great.
I think it's great. I mean, it's not as good as The Dark Knight, obviously, but it packed more of a punch, I thought, at the end. Like, it was a final closing ending, and it was worth it.
That's my favorite trilogy.
Yeah, mine too. So after all the stuff that's come out, it's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
I can rewatch them anytime. And Batman Begins actually pales a little bit in comparison.
Oh, that's the worst one of the bunch.
And it's fun to rewatch it though, because you're like, man, I really love what they did with the origin story. That beginning is amazing, and then when they get to his training with Ra's al Ghul, I was like, this is the shit I wanted to see in the original Batman movie.
He did it right. Christopher Nolan is a fucking genius. When Christopher Nolan directs a movie or he's a part of a movie, it's fucking stellar.
Yeah.
Side note on that though. How do you replace Katie Holmes smoking hot with Maggie
Gyllenhaal?
Maggie fucking Hammerhead Gyllenhaal. She looks awful.
I mean, that's the only thing about it that distracts me a little. That's why I have a hard time rewatching the first one with it.
Have you ever cranked one out to Maggie Gyllenhaal?
No.
No. Like, she's been in movies. She's been in movies completely butt-ass naked. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. I've been like, those are some tits, right? There are tits.
You look just like your brother Jake, and he got railed by Heath Ledger.
I bet she did too.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably let Heath Ledger rail me too, whatever.
But she's
not gay,
and she's not a fucking great actress either by any means. Like that scene where she has that conclusion in The Dark Knight's one of the hardest scenes to watch, where she's like, "That's it, that's genius." Remember when they're tying it together with the RICO Act?
Yeah, you're
like you don't know that? You're a fucking assistant district attorney and you don't know what the RICO Act is? You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Not a great actress.
Yeah.
And then, like, you were going to place Katie Holmes, which was dating a crazy person, Tom Cruise, which that's going to turn into a whole snowball here. But loved the movie, but didn't like Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Tom Cruise. Speaking of that guy, you guys should all check out Edge of Tomorrow because
fucking amazing.
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
I cannot wait for that movie to come on Blu-ray just so I can watch it 50,000 times.
I got an advance copy from the company. on Blu-ray. And
for
I
your
watched it
consideration.
twice.
Does it say for your consideration?
It doesn't. It says it just says it starts the movie and it's on Blu-ray. Somebody was gracious enough to give me that via email, and that was terrific of them. I've watched it 2 times at home.
Tom Cruise went crazy, right? Tom Cruise went crazy. Probably still a little crazy. He believes that we're from what he believes a lot of crazy shit. We're on another planet, whatever. But his last 3-4 movies have been fucking great.
They have.
And no one wants to go. Oblivion, great. Jack Reacher, fucking great. Edge of Tomorrow, great. He's not a bad. I don't know why people are like, I need to stay away from that Looney Tune.
Like, I don't care if you go home at night and jerk off and pray to your weird gods. That's fine. I don't care as long as you make good movies, and he makes good movies.
I jerk off into cottage cheese, and people listen to me all the time.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's cottage cheese. That's kind of weird, but it's mostly in the refrigerator at work. So I don't eat the cottage cheese at work.
Well, it's too late for that. Somebody probably already ate it at our fucking work.
I can't tell you what I do to the yogurt to stay away from it.
But so check that out too. I mean, this is just this is us taking a minute out of our hard work that we were doing earlier to just bullshit for on camera.
Right.
Frank, you're welcome. This is content. It's fucking content.
Comic books.
Also,
better than any condom, because if you read comic books, you probably don't get laid a lot.
Shut up, Joe.
I have a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend. I'm on. I have sex. Anyways, real quick, I got to tell you one more thing, and then we'll wrap this up. There's a guy on our channel who enjoys our stuff, who wants me to go Bigfoot hunting with him. And
I do a Bigfoot hunt. Fuck.
Yeah, he's really into it. Like, I've seen some of his videos. He has pulls up in the back of this truck.
Do we have to go to McGuffey?
Well, that's where all the Bigfoot are.
they just hang on.
Yeah.
Are you sure there's not one real big chick out there?
I think it's probably dirty hillbillies that don't want to come into town. But what's great about it is he asked me like 3 or 4 times to find out. I was like, look, I have these shows coming up. I can't do it right now. But the way he said it to me was fantastic. He was like, listen, man, I know you're busy. Just take a camera out and do some calls. Yeah, out
like a cell phone call, or do you
no, do some fucking Bigfoot calls. And he did one on this video that he posted on Facebook because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And I want to know, how the fuck does he know that's a Bigfoot call? Like, I know when you do a bear call that's a bear, because I've seen a bear and I know that's what bears make a noise. But his call's like this.
Kind of sounds like a jackal.
It sounds like somebody's dying, or something's getting murdered. I was laughing so hard I didn't know what to do. Like, I don't know, am I really supposed to go out and do that into the woods?
What's I
can't, I'm not going to say right now. But.
Dude, if you're watching it, I will go on a Bigfoot hunt with you. Yeah. I'm going to be off with this. I have night vision goggles.
I will also go once we get these shows over. But we've got a show at September 20th, The Troubadour. It's 11 bands, one night. Jeff said finally going to be there.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to do a couple jokes about my penis mostly.
Yep. And then after that, September 26th, we've got a show at the Sloopy's Galloway Drinkery.
Drinkery?
Yeah.
I like that. That's classier. Like, it's not a bar, it's a drinkery.
It's a drinkery.
It's like a winery.
Yeah.
Only it's full of a lot more ugly people.
Yeah. And, but so after we get that done, I really want to go before it gets butt-ass cold out. I want to go up there. So are you down?
I will go. I will do that.
We're going to do some Bigfoot hunting. I'm looking forward to looking for broken twigs and piles of shit that we can dig.
Also, if you know somebody wants to go to ghost hunt, I'll do that as well.
I'd also like to ghost hunt. Yeah, this is a call. That's something I really want to do. I don't believe in ghosts. I'm not afraid. Like, I don't like the dark, but I'll go sit in a dark church and I won't be afraid. You know why? Because I don't believe in fucking demons or fucking poltergeist or my dead grandpa coming back. Guys, I don't believe in ghosts. So that's not to say I don't believe that there's something after this shell we leave. But I don't believe that once I leave the shell, I'm going to come back here and talk to you about it. Because I've got bigger things to do, okay?
They probably have more room on their DVR in heaven.
But I can't wait. I'll be your fucking naysayer like they have on all those ghost hunter shows. The one guy that's like, I don't believe in ghosts. And you know what? He's always right. Because they're not once. They've been doing ghost hunter shows.
I've never seen a ghost hunter show where they've had a guy that's like, I've never, but I watch them and they're like, did you hear that?
Well,
oh my God.
There's always one guy that's going, I don't really believe in this. And then he'll say, well, I can't explain it. Now, there might be unexplainable things. There might be electromagnetic residual energy that your body leaves during a trauma that may replay like a record that maybe an ultraviolet camera can't catch. That's a huge if. You're a science guy, so you're probably with me on this. That's a huge
Yeah, that's a huge if.
But if that's the case, they haven't caught a good one in 10 seasons of Ghost Hunters. Like, you would think that at least one residual image would be like, and I've seen outlines that my eyes kind of go, well, that could be a guy, or it looks like a guy with no legs. You don't fucking know what shadows are doing, man. You know, bending of light. We don't have the space-time bending of light theory thing is just in the last 50 years has been like a real studied event. I mean, there could be all kinds of shit going on with these cameras that people don't. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I believe the thing that scares me the most is not fucking ghosts. It's my neighbor that got murdered and his killer, and people that live above me that seem like at any moment their teardrop tattoos might soak into their skin, and they might come down here and try to kill me for my roast beef sandwich.
He lives in Hilliard, not the ghetto.
So that's it. This went over a little bit. We got to wrap it up. I'm Randy Woden, aka Ray McGuff.
I'm JT Farva, aka JT Farva.
Come see our shows or don't. We don't give a fuck, really. Honestly, I don't really care if you show up, but come if you want to have fun.
I like to put bacon grease on my balls.
That's it. This is it from the Raid Cave. Have a good one. We're out.
Bye.
Left for me, all I see is misery, as the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me, there ain't nothing left for me, only pain and misery, as the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me. Look into the eyes of a stranger, holding back his anger, got the world on his shoulders, no one can be a savior, he's a danger to himself, there's nothing left at the bottom, having homicidal thoughts and there's no one there to stop. He keeps his emotions in check, you can't read them on the surface, but it's all a facade, it's almost like he's lost his purpose. There's no one to turn to cause they wouldn't understand, keeps his nose to the ground cause they ain't looking for no hands, make you feel like less of man, living off another's charity, growing cynical by the hour, just want a piece of the prosperity. He done paid his dues 1,000,000 times over, now there's nothing left to lose, but he keeps going like a soldier. A bandana is his flag and the streets have a code written inside his chest, across his heart etched in stone. He's searching for a home but can't take his feet off the road. In his pack he holds a crown and where he sits is his throne. There ain't nothing left for me, all I see is misery, as the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me, there ain't nothing left for me, only pain and misery, as the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me. He's got a gift and he knows it, but he keeps it well hidden, memorizes every word to the songs that he's written. Put him in a crowd and he's alone in his mind, but if you get him on a stage, that's his moment to shine. Grew up poverty stricken, never put faith in religion, but every time he prayed it's almost like someone listened. He's walking the streets but he's lost in a prison, there's no bars and no gates, and he feels like something's missing from the life that he's living. Can't put a finger on it though, cause it's more than just retirement, women and stacking dough. From the bottom to the top he made it big and watched it go, and his crew that was beside him wasn't there when it's time to roll. Now there's nowhere left to go, only back to the lab, as he cracks another bottle and drinks the life that he had. His biggest fears coming true, a blank pad in the bin, and that his story's gonna close before he's done with the end. There ain't nothing left for me, all I see is misery, as the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me, there ain't nothing left for me, only pain and misery, as the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me. He keeps his nose in the book and stays quiet as kept, for the things he could never have he silently wept. Said a prayer for the deceased and the things that could have been. You just gotta get to know him before he considers you a friend. There's no trust to be had, he's in the land of the lost, caught up in the current, swim too far from the rock. He's floating on his back, staring up at the sky. Sometimes he wants to give it up and not even try, but that isn't him and he knows it. To the thine own self be true. That's why it says non-state ipsum on his tattoo. He's at the mercy of the system and they're holding the leash. He sees the sixes on their foreheads, the mark of the beast. He's tired of the lies and propaganda that he sold ever since his first day of school at 4 years old. He ain't even passed away, but his heart's turned cold, and he'll never shed a tear after the story is told. Yeah. There ain't nothing left for me, all I see is misery, misery. As the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me, nothing left. There ain't nothing left for me, only pain and misery, misery. As the devil set me free, cause there ain't nothing left for me.